me ask you a question. Are you rich? Whoa, wait a minute, you say. How do you define rich? Is it about money? Well, don't get me wrong. I don't mind money. And I don't think you'd turn this down if I handed it to you, would you? But does money have the power to make us rich? I asked a few thousand people what has made them rich, and less than 1% mentioned money. One of the things that's made my life rich is laughter. Like the little kid who was asked to finish the popular proverb, "There's no fool like an old fool." He said, "There's no fool like Uncle Eddie." My son Stephen told me a joke. He said, "I was going past the asylum the other day, and I heard the inmates chanting, 13, 13. So I found a little hole in the fence, and I looked in, and some idiot poked me in the eye with a stick. Then I walked away, and I heard them chanting, 14, 14, 14. Well, most of us know what makes our lives rich, don't we? The trouble is we're running too fast to notice. Do you know what is the most repaired item on an elevator? It's the closed door button. The use of amphetamines, known as speed, has skyrocketed in the workplace by 70% in the past decade. We take speed so we can get promoted, so we can move faster, work harder, and need more speed. A friend has this on his desk. "We, the willing, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much with so little for so long that we are now qualified to do anything with nothing." A growing number of us are weary of non-stop noise and hurry. Technology promised us more leisure time, but it lied. Instead, it doled out ulcers, heartburn, migraine, and gas. The busyness and noise have been unkind to our marriages, our children, our faith, and our fishing. And it's time we said enough. One of the sadder letters I received in response to my book, Making Life Rich Without Any Money, went like this. When my husband and I were first married, we couldn't afford furniture, but we had an ice box for food. Once a week, we'd put ice in it, then dip our hands in the water and have water fights. 10 years ago, we struck it rich. We hardly saw each other after that, and soon our marriage evaporated. I would gladly trade all the money for those simple days when laughter filled our home. Late in life, an anonymous friar, that's not a chicken, that's a monk, wrote the following words: "If I had my life to do over again, I'd try to make more mistakes next time. I would relax, I would limber up, I would be sillier than I have been. I would take more trips, I would be crazier, I would climb more mountains, swim more rivers, and watch more sunsets. I would eat more ice cream and less beans. Yeah. I would have more actual troubles and fewer imaginary ones. Oh, I've had my moments, and if I had it to do all over again, I'd have more of them. I'd try to have nothing else, just moments, one after another, instead of living so many years ahead each day. If I had my life to live over, I would start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way later in the fall. I would ride more merry-go-rounds, I'd pick more daisies." Sometimes I wonder where I got the notion that God is only pleased with me when I'm snowed under. In the same way I love to watch my children chase one another down a sandy beach, so God is pleased when we eat ice cream, when we laugh. A rich life begins when we realize that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. That those who focus on the fleeting are never satisfied, but those who discover what really lasts find purpose and meaning. I've found freedom in following the example of Jesus, who carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, but slept soundly in the bottom of a storm-tossed boat. Will you determine with me to stop chasing things we can't cram into our coffins? Next time we climb on an elevator and are tempted to pound that closed door button, let's smile and think about that.